Welcome to the Kinkazoid podcast, where we give you your weekly dosage of nasty, freaky, kinky conversation and relationship too. Here's our host. It's your girl, Chase, the C. Hayes, but how you say it long as that flavor stays in your mouth. I'd be mad if you gave this slaughterhouse of a dick to another bitch. Yes, I would be very upset.
Y'all, it's your girl, Royal, no tagline necessary. Just recognize she's a queen. You see the headline. When I say it was a wet spot, I mean it was a wet spot. Like, it was, like, all-encompassing the entire bed or whatever, almost.
And your boy Hubdusa, as they say, giving it to you from the front and the back. Nobody asked you what you like or what you feel works better. I said what works for me.
It's time to start the show. Let's get kinky.
What's going on, y'all? What's happening? It's your girl, Chase, the C. Hayes. Doesn't matter how you say it, as long as that flavor stays in your mouth. My apologies for the lighting. I'm not having the... Let me make sure. Let me turn it down so y'all can see me. I hope you guys are having a fantabulous night and nobody's bothering you or putting you off or anything like that. Sorry, I was just smacking on something. Let's look at the new eyebrows. I've never went this skinny with my eyebrows before. So I feel like my face has like a facelift now. Like, I feel like I look like a whole new human being. Maybe my face got a little skinty. Honey, who knows? Any which way, as you can see, it's me holding it down like I'm supposed to. Like a what? A real nigga. A real nigga. If y'all was not watching my other podcast, The Whattt with Chase and Duke, on Halloween night, you missed a good one. You can go back, watch it. It was really good. I came out as Chase, that's Chayze. So, you know, your girl's out here living her best life, you know, because I'm a cute ass nigga. When I get dressed up, I'm a cute ass nigga. Anyway, so Hubdusa is out here traveling these streets. As we all know, Royal is holding it down in the education department. So there might be some times where it's just me coming on here, and there are going to be some times where it's going to be me and Hubdusa. We're going to just have to figure out a schedule where hopefully one time that it's all of us on this thing, because I think that'll be great, because I think I'm pretty good at holding down the fort and making sure you guys are entertained for the most part. But also, I get tired of hearing myself talk a lot. So we're going to figure it out when we figure it out. But let's get into it. We haven't done a toy of the week in a long time. But I will always advertise, vote for, and tell you, get you a Bluetooth remote toy. It is definitely needed. It is definitely have to be had. The Bluetooth remote toys that I use and others is Lovense, Lovense. It's Lovense, not Love Sense, but Lovense. Lovense. Excuse me. Really great. Fantastic. You can have as many people as you want to on your application. Just download the application and the other person downloads the application. You give access, and no matter if you are in the same room or you are across the world, you can take care of your partner the way that you would like to. So I'm always going to vote for that and for us to enjoy each other, whether we're near or far. But let's get into the down boogity of the show. I don't have much to talk about, so this might just be a quick little wrap up of a podcast episode, but I did want to discuss some things with you guys. So we all know Cam Newton, right? NFL superstar, was the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. I think he moved on to another team, and then he showed up for like 0.5 seconds on the New England Patriots. I don't know why he came here, but he showed up for 0.5 seconds, played for the New England Patriots for I think maybe three games or something. And then when he was out. So don't really know what. Anyway, the point is now he has, besides being known for a football player and the way he would have his dress up days when it came to game day, and also because of his natural wicks that he's growing out of his head, he is now famous for this podcast. And I think it's hilarious when everybody and their mama have a podcast and they just be talking. They just be saying whatever they want to say and be talking about whatever they want to talk about, like you should. But also, it is kind of a, how do I say it? It hurts the people who really are about this. You know, a lot of you don't know. I went to school for this thing. I studied for this thing. I'm trained for this thing. So when I see other people do these podcasts and they don't even do the due diligence of fact checking their work, making sure they're getting things from sources that are correct, and they just talking off the hinge of their mouths and trying to get as much clickbait as they possibly can, it just kind of makes me feel like, I don't know, people just want to be nosy and be people's business. So that's the reason why they watch the podcast. There's nothing really like interesting for real. Like, it's not fact checking. There's nothing really going on. But regardless of the fact, he has his own podcast now. And he has had a couple of very big clickbait sections of his podcast, more importantly with comedian Corey Holcomb. And this most recent one was them talking. They talked about a lot in this one episode. They talked about women with BBLs, how men don't want to marry a woman with a BBL. They just want to F them. How a marriage would not last with a woman with a BBL. They talked about Dr. Bryant, the woman's psychologist who came on to Cam's show and basically was telling him about himself and read him for Phil. And Corey Holcomb says that he went around and he did his own investigating, and he's like, she's not even a real doctor. She has her PhD in psychology. She's a doctor. I don't know what you want me to do about that. I don't know if he was looking for her to have like, I don't know, but he was looking for her MPI and looking to see what medical field she practices. I don't know, but she's a doctor. They also talked about Will Smith and things like that. Like, they had a lot of scope during this podcast episode. I think it's crazy to see one person who has this much sane left in them and then one person who has no sane left in them have a conversation about stuff. And it's watching Cam Newton trying to reel Corey Holcomb back when he starts going off these tangents and starts talking about just these very big random facts and stuff like that that have no truth in it at all. But any which way, for this particular segment, they were talking about relationships. And if y'all don't know, I think Cam has definitely more than 2 to 3 baby mamas. I think altogether he has like 6 kids. I think so. I think 6 to 8 kids. I believe. Don't quote me. I believe. He definitely has more than 2. Okay. But I think it's about 6 or more kids. I say all that because there was a girl, if y'all don't remember who Jazz is a girl who was one of the top-notch like online comedians you could think of, okay? Before there was Pretty V's, Dez's, and B Simone's, there was Jazz's, okay? And Jazz was one of those chicks that just started doing everything. So she started off on Vine, then went over to Instagram. She had her own YouTube. Like, she was doing her own comedic like content creation. She, in the midst of this, always stood on like, I'm a woman. Ain't nobody gonna talk to me like this. Ain't nobody gonna talk to me like that. Da, da, da. And then later on, in the future, maybe a short 3 years ago, she went on Shadrin Brody's YouTube channel on her podcast and talked about how much she loves being a submissive woman and how she wants to take care of her man and pack his luggage and pack his lunch and do this and do that and just be submissive and just lay in the bed until he tells her to get up and, you know, all those things. And she has recently had a baby by him. And he has said some things about his relationship with her prior, and now he's stating about, I don't know how else to say this, that he has not been faithful to her in their relationship whatsoever. Hello, Habduser.
Hello, hello, hello.
You made it. We love to see it.
Yes, long day, long drive.
It's okay. It's all right.
Anything I haven't been able to tune in. What is going on? How you doing, Candy?
I'm existing. I am taking my hair out. You can't tell, but a whole section of my head is missing hair. So I am taking it out because it's been way too long and I don't need to be looking like a ragamuffin my whole entire life. That's so bad that you can't tell the difference from here to here. You see what I'm saying? Like there's braids here, no braids here, but you can't tell the difference. You know why? Hair is outgrown, dirty, and disgusting. So
Okay.
Yeah. But I was going to show the people a video of Cam Newton from his podcast. And he had Corey Holcomb on there. And they were talking about relationships. And Cam brings up the fact that he has one. I guess I'm going to assume that being with one woman is crazy. But more importantly, admitted, like, I haven't stayed with one. I haven't only slept with Jazz the whole time I've been with her. So I was just gonna show the people the buffoonery that we have to deal with sometimes as women when it comes to things like this. Let's get into it.
To live a lifestyle that's righteous, you got to tell the truth. Cam, I don't care how in awe I am of you right now. You are not finna tell me you up here fucking one person. It's not finna happen.
No. See, you're trying to deflect back to me.
No, I would never do you like that. But I got respect for you. But you didn't answer that for a reason.
No. Understand this.
You didn't answer for a reason.
I'm going to answer mine, and then I want you to answer mine too.
I will answer it, brother, and I promise you I won't with you.
Okay. How long are you talking about?
What you mean?
Fucking one person.
What do you mean, how long are you talking about?
As long as I've been with Jazz, Jazz has not been the only person that I've had sex with.
I don't know your situation.
But I'm getting personal.
Right. I don't know your situation.
Since you want to take it there. And this is the thing that has...
Do you feel like I'm being disrespectful?
No.
Because I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
No, trust me.
I'm trying to be honest.
I'm trying to be honest too. There's times where I've openly had conversations, and this is why me and Jazz are growing in our relationship. Understand this. There's something that you mentioned as far as the peak of the spear. Jazz allows me to speak to her, and we are able to have banter, whether it's uncomfortable banter or just kicking the shit banter.
But that's the basis of growing into something solid.
Truth.
Yeah.
But hear me out when I say this. As long as I've been with Jazz, I cannot honestly say that I've only been with Jazz. And I think as we grow, and I hate that I embarrassed her, because no woman ever wants to admit that openly.
But what? I'm sorry, I want to make sure.
That their person has not always been with them. Only. So to that point, I'm bringing it home.
Picture this. You're sitting at home alone watching YouTube.
Picture this, and you get a commercial.
What has allowed us to begin to get closer in a relationship is that I don't feel that she judges my action. She holds me accountable to my action. And she asks me certain things that, how can I do certain things to better so that this won't be a normalcy for you moving forward?
Okay, let's talk about that portion just really quick. So, just as a stop piece, right?
Right.
I am thoroughly confused when it comes to men who have this thought process that their likeness towards a person separates the crime. And when I say that, I say if it was a person, if I like this woman that I am having an outer affair with within the woman that I'm with, then that is cheating. If I don't like the woman that I'm having an outer affair with the woman that I'm with, it's just getting a nut. And the great words of Jody, I don't love those whole Yvette.
I'm just fucking them.
I'm just fucking them. I love you, girl.
I lie to you because I care about you.
Because I care about you.
Oh God.
This is what I'm saying. It's like it. I've heard men and when Trey was on the show, I think he's said this before also, that men will and can separate their objectives where it's I have feelings towards this person, don't have feelings towards this person, so I can be with this person, sleep with this person, and it is what it is. Like, whatever, I'm going back to my baby. Like, I'm cool. But then when the woman has a complaint towards it or goes, nigga, are you crazy? Like, what are you talking about right now? It's why are you tripping? You know, like we look at baby boy as like a joke, but that literally is like,
oh yeah, that's life.
A grand portion of some men's thoughts. Now, I can't say women because I don't date them, but I know because I date men and I've been in situations and whatever may have you. Therefore, it's like they compartmentalize a lot of stuff. I can never say that word in such a weird way. It's like it's like they built the ugliest Sims house, but to them it makes sense on how they get around their house. Ain't no hallways, but some way they getting in one room to the other. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I never understood that thought process. And maybe because of my estrogen and ovaries and uterus, I never will.
It is possible. As you know, everyone's had a past. I've had a past as well, and I was able to maneuver, but I wouldn't say that I was maneuvering in a way that, you know, I still care for the person as much as I probably did at one point in time. Yes, I still had love for that person, but I probably wasn't in love with that person anymore. I think when you're in love with someone, to be able to maneuver like that, yeah, you're not doing that.
But you hear what he said, that with her submissive ass, okay,
just had to talk to her.
Yeah,
she just don't want to feel disrespected that, you know, she doesn't know and everyone else out here knows.
More importantly, he says she doesn't judge me for it. She holds me accountable for it. And then before I cut it, says that she will be in the sense of, let's talk about it, let's discuss it, let's find out why you did it, so that way this doesn't happen again.
But if it's happened more than once, it's already happened again. Though it may be different reasons why it may happen, does not change the fact that it's going to happen. And the way he's saying it is, he's always going to keep on doing that. That's the whole point of the conversation, is like, how are you going to say she's holding you accountable if you keep on doing it? That's
and
just
obviously
like
accountability is not being held.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what it is. Okay, so if women, like I said, I don't know. And I don't know women who do this. I'll tell you my truth when it comes to this, because I have not done this in relationship. I have done this in likeness, but I'm single. So this is just me dating. This is just me talking to people. There's no commitment to any one person, right? But
it's fun.
Yeah, but have I had one dedicated person that I talk to, that I deal with, that I sleep with, that whatever may have you? Yes. And then do I venture to other knuckleheads and like try to like talk to them and see what's up and whatever may have you? Yes. Like, because I'm single. I can I can do that. right? But I'm trying to think of that in that term. Do I do that? Yeah. I talk to this person, but I know that this person means nothing to me, and I know it's not going to mean anything to me. It's just
Right.
you're not able to answer your phone all the time. You're not able to text me all the time. You're not able. I'm not saying that's the reason, but that you're not able to give me the time and attention that I look to desire. I still like you. I still want to bump with you. I still like think you mad cool, and you still like the number one honcho in whatever list of roster that I have. You're just not able to give me all the dedicated time that I'm looking for. So I'm going to go source it somewhere else. Still have you, but sourcing somewhere else because I'm single and I'm able to do that. And then the people that I do find, they don't match up to you. And I don't really like them, but they just there, I guess.
Right.
So like, yeah, you don't matter no more. Okay, bye. And I'll come back to you. Like you gave me my time and attention, but I'm kind of over it now. I'm coming back to you. Like
Right.
that to me is how that reads.
Mhm.
But that's cool in your singleness. You know what I'm saying? Like that makes sense because if I have this main person that I'm dating, exclusively dating, but I have other people that I talk to and I date or whatever, uh, I know nothing's really gonna go on with them. I'm just playing the field. I'm just
Right.
seeing how I feel.
You just testing the
Not
waters. Like, here you
testing
go.
the waters, not in a relationship. Like I
Right.
feel like to to have that thought process that men will just and this starts the boys will be boys thing. Like, and I don't like taking
It's
stuff
more
all the
than
way
just the
back.
boys be boys. This also starts the high value men who are allowed to do what they want because they are who they are.
Yes, but that starts with boys will be boys.
Mhm.
This starts at 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. When I mean, how many times have you been told like if you really like a girl, pull a pigtail or you do a little something this or like, like whatever these old folks been, passed down through generations. If
Mhm.
and this is what we learn. If a boy's real irritant with you, if he always messing with you or joking with you, he like you.
Right.
Like whatever. And boys learn, if I tease her or if I make her feel a little less than, if I give her blah, 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 she's going to want to like please me more so that way I can give her those affirmations, right? Because if a guy, because if we're to talk about when we're younger, right?
Mhm.
And a girl and a boy, they're friends and everything like that. And the boy's mean to her. She's just like, why are you so mean to me? Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And she more than likely won't go out of her way to be around him, but
Mhm.
he'll keep going at her, going at her. And then when she
Mhm.
finally gets into that emotion, like, stop, why are you blah, blah, blah?
Like,
It,
nigga, leave me alone.
yeah,
Mhm.
it turns into what can I do to make him like me to not do this to me no more? It slowly turns into that. I'm saying this is general. This is general. This is literally the earth. Like this is literally the earth. So it slowly turns into what can I do? And this is just anyone. If you have a
I'm
bully, if you have somebody
oh,
who doesn't like you, you start going, okay, well, what can I do to make you not be mean to me? What can I do to make you like me? What can I do to satisfy something in you so I don't get that burden, right?
mhm.
And then the boy slowly learns, like, oh, she's looking for affirmation. She's looking for me to whatever. If I give it to her, she feels good about it. If I don't, she's gonna yearn for it. It starts there. Even without you having to have that knowledge and that wherewithal, it starts. You start realizing it as you get older. And then it goes
Yeah.
into other things. Cause I think about like you had a job, you got a boss who's constant dickhead to you for no reason. What do
Mhm.
you do? Fuck, man. What can I do to make my fucking boss like stop being like this to me?
Get the fuck off of me. That's what
You know what I'm saying? You start doing maybe a little bit more work. Maybe you come to work a little bit earlier. Maybe you stay a little bit later. Maybe you try to overturn paperwork a lot faster. You try to get through the day to do objectives a little bit more. You speak more, say, maybe we could do this in this meeting and that way. So it looks like you have like a yearning to be there for the job or whatever, just so you can have an easier day at work. So you're not getting bothered by your boss. We end
right.
up doing this with any person in any relation.
Mhm.
I'm just saying, like, an example, like the boy and the girl. But then you have, like you said, men who grow up who never got checked, Because at some point, a boy gets checked. And you can tell who got checked as a kid and who didn't. The men who got humbly checked at some point in time, they're here for a good time in between time and having a, you know what I'm saying? Like they whatever. The ones who didn't get checked, that's the high that, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm yada yada yada. I'm big shit. That's what it is. But going back to
I
the
got everything, so you're just beneath me. That's all.
exactly. But going back to the
You should be happy that I'm interested to be with you.
speak on it. You should be glad that I have taken interest in you.
Right, and that's the attitude I get from those two. Like the fuck, like Corey, like you can't just be with one man. You just can't be with one woman. Nah, you can't
But
do that.
here's the thing: Cam to say, well, like how long are you talking?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the thing that I'm upset that this is the thought process that is happening now, in which will, because people keep forgetting we've just got here, as in we've never lived this life before. We've never experienced this decade before. We never experienced this timeline before. We never experienced how people are before, right? We can have mimic personalities, characteristics. This is what you look for, right? Red flags, making sure that you don't repeat the same thing. But as a society as a whole, this is our first time living and experience these times, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even though we're experiencing these times now, look how it's automatically immediately affecting the generation underneath us.
Yes, definitely.
Immediately affecting the generation underneath us. With us, we're the last generation that things got passed down to slowly, right? Because everything else had to work through its time. We didn't get to see everything happen. These kids are seeing everything right here, right now, and they're processing it so fast that they're like, well, fuck this shit. If everybody finna just be like screwing everybody, who cares? Like, I don't.
That's
These
why
people are.
marriages are down. Nobody
There's
wants a real relationship.
they're seeing more decline in relationships than incline. So why would I attempt to get one? I'm just gonna fuck bitches, get money, and that's pretty much it. What's the point? But I wanted to continue the video to see what else this man had to say.
I've never had nobody to really understand how I think. So there's been times where, okay, cool, we're keeping it a buck. Me and Jazz locked in where it's like, yo, are you okay? No, babe, I'm feeling weak. Okay, what does that mean? Now, folks gonna sit up there and say, oh, she's stupid for doing that. She's giving me something that this is my friend, this is my confidant, this is my person that I go to for recharge. This is my place of refuge. I'm going to her and I don't have to hide nothing from her.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see the longevity of our relationship, I know that it's working. It's not that I'm taking advantage of her. If anything, she's giving me something that I've never had. So I have to nurture and protect her. And she's been able to protect me and nurture me as well. In those situations, she has held me accountable to tell me, yo, that made me feel fucked up, babe. I ain't gonna lie to you. But why, babe? Okay, you gonna sit up here and be with this chick and not be with me? Like, and you playing with me? Okay, cool. Let's go on a walk. Let's talk about it. Let's understand. It's not always one dimensional where I'm speaking how I want to do and vice versa. I think she speaks on how it makes her feel. I speak on how it makes me feel and then go about it like that. So I don't promote multiple this, that, and the third. I don't have a network. You see what I'm saying? When I'm asking you in regards to Boosie,
A network, you don't have a network.
your word, you say she's not gonna be a part.
Hey.
Okay. Here's what she said. Okay. This was her response back to that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Child, here come the just checking on you DMs. I am fine. Trust me, I know who and what my nigga is. Ain't no secrets or surprises. He could talk to me about anything. Why not just be single if you're not gonna, why not just be single if you're gonna cheat? I feel you. However, men just be wanting to Once they do that, they're back to temporarily thinking straight. It's real ghetto out here. I get it. I don't blame. I get it. I don't blame. Where did it go? Oh yeah, I get it. I don't blame y'all for wanting to be single. But if you spend enough time talking to men about this topic, you'll see that it's not as shocking as it may seem. That sounds like a girl who is stuck in the sunken place of a relationship. That's exactly what it sounds like. I don't know how else to like describe that, but it sounds like a girl who is stuck in the sunken place of a relationship.
Or maybe a sense may not be the second place of a relationship, but that's what she's been taught. That's what she's seen. That's what she's been handed down her whole life. So she's like, all right, I mean, this is what I've always seen. So my father was doing this. My brothers were doing this. This is what just men do, you know? So
Yeah.
she's just accepted it like, this is just what they do. It is what it is. As long as he keeps on coming back to me at the end of the night, you know, sure, do what you want to do. Now, if I feel disrespected by it, then we're gonna have a conversation about it, and then we'll go on about it. You better leave her ass alone.
Yeah. How I feel about the whole thing is that oh god. I haven't been in a relationship, as we all know, since 2013. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, shit. You don't fuck. Okay. Yeah, we get it. All right. You didn't have to do the woo.
Situationships.
Yeah.
No, I was like, I remember. Oh, those are just situations.
Yes, I've been in situationships. I have talked to many people, but I have had no one in. I've had to no one to claim, and no one has claimed to claim your girl. But it's. But my thing is that I hope a love like that never finds me. I've been seeing that comment a lot lately. Because there are some people out there like me who would want to be in a relationship that, like they both said, we talk about everything. We're very open and honest with each other. And like Cam said, even when it's the hurtful conversations, we have those conversations. I will give them that because that's what you need to have in a relationship. You need to have the ugly in a relationship. If you've ever watched This Is Us, I loved watching Randall and Beth. Okay. They were not only because they were the only Black couple in the show, but more importantly, they had the very, very ugly conversations. And that's why their relationship really stood the test of time. Because even when they had like hit a bottom pit, they understood that this was just this moment.
Right.
And that like they needed to understand each other and then whatever in the thing. But what I liked about their relationship is they had these things called worst case scenarios, where any situation that would happen with them, they would always give the worst case scenario. So that way nothing surprised them in the moment. If things were better, they were better. But if they were worse, they were worse. That's the kind of relationship that you should have, that you're very open to like say stuff without throwing a dig at the person. And you're able to say, you know what, baby, I was looking at that bitch's ass. I was. But nobody's ass is better than my bitch's
Yo,
ass.
you know, her ass is a little fat, but you know, baby, you know, it's all yours.
You know what I'm saying? Like even if you said like, yeah, she tried to take something from me, but I'm yours, and no one can steal from you because I'll beat their ass. And if I'm yours and you owe me, no one could rob you. Like that's some slick stuff that somebody, you know what, you can write that down, because honestly, that is some heat that I just said. I ain't gonna hold you. That was some heat. But I'm just saying,
you know, nonetheless, you know,
yeah, I'm just saying that it's one of those things where I wish that for everyone in their relationship, you have to have those kind of conversations, as you would know, Abducer. You have to have those conversations, and you hope that you're able to walk away from those conversations still loving each other and loving on each other as you're supposed to, because you're supposed to have them. But I will not have you come and sit down with me over a cup of tea and coffee on the couch after Netflix just asked us, are you still watching this program talking about, so the other day, Veronica was wearing that skirt at work, man, and I just had to go take it to the
I
break
just
room
had
real quick,
to.
you know. And you will not have me. No, that would never
You got me
be a
confused.
moment. That would never be a moment. That would never be a moment that is something that is even a thought in your mind that you think that you could be able to say that to me. Anyway, I digress. Moving on. Tonight's conversation. We love the podcast. We love the cards. If you have the chance, go buy their deck of cards. My friend has them, and we did. It was all of us. Like, it was like 6 or 7 of us, and she just pulled them out. We were just having these conversations. You know, it was pretty cool. I'm glad that the light skinned man is gone. Okay, the light skinned man with locks had to go. He was out of control. But they kept
Hold on. What? What are you talking about?
the light skinned man with the locks
Which
that was on the podcast, that was always just like saying the most rage baity stuff, like just continuously all the time. He's really not there no more. And
No,
you have to realize they do tours and stuff, right?
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of this
Yeah.
place.
So they're doing tours and
Okay.
stuff. They've added on other women and men that
Mm.
have a better understanding and able to like talk about stuff without sounding like an ass. Like, that's what I like about the transition that they're going into. They still have like the original like 3 or 4, but just without the guy, and they added other people. Now, this one man came on the show with this one lady. Okay, she's new too, or whatever. And I think they just were guests. And we talk about the top tier man. Okay. And he claims that he is the top tier man. And I will say this woman ate him up without even eating him up. Okay. Let's just watch what he thinks the why he's the top tier man.
Just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
Do you believe you're a top tier man?
Modern
Okay.
women, yeah, modern women do not qualify for a top tier man. That's what he said. Let me run it back. He said modern women do not qualify for a top tier man, and that is the truth.
Modern day women just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
Do you believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
I'm 6'4". Only about 8% of the entire world is 6'4".
I've seen this. I've seen this show up.
So you were tall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
God, I remember this. Yes.
You could be 6 foot, and and honestly, women will always say 6 foot or more. 6 foot, 6 foot, 6 foot. No one ever says I want a 6'4", 6'4". Like, it's 6 foot. You know, it's just I want a 6 foot.
Long as you're over 6 foot, that's all.
That's all they care.
6 foot and you're taller than me. There you go.
6 foot or and women with sense, like okay, because I had to grow up, right? I was always saying, if my man's not 6 foot, I don't want him. Reasons being is because legally I'm 5'8", but I'm really 5'7" something. But because I have long legs, I appear taller. So therefore, if I was with somebody who was 5'8", 5'9", we are looking at each other eye to eye, because it's built off of your body and what you know. So anybody who's 6 foot, shit, even 5'11" standing next to me, 5'11", you kind of seem like you're the same height as me. Obviously not shoulder to shoulder, but we're relatively in height. If you're 6 foot, there's a difference. Like, it's not, it's real this. You know what I'm saying? So it's not too much. It's just, it's this, you know? I had to learn that thinking that way is very shallow. It's very shallow.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. it's something I prefer because of how I look, not because of what my man looks like, because of how I look. But also, I thought about it, and I don't mind being with a person who's 5'8". Yes, reach the top shelf. Exactly, my guys. Exactly. But here's my
Someone got to be able
thing.
to reach the top shelf.
I think about it in the terms of what brings me joy. What brings me joy in my head is envisioning myself like going into my man's arms after a long day and just putting my head on his chest. Can I do that with a person who's 5'8"? Can I do that with a person who's 5'9"? Yes. Do I have to scrunch a little bit to do that?
Maybe
Yeah.
gotta lay down.
You know what I'm saying? Do I have to like swan neck it a little bit? Yeah. I just want to. I want that. Like that's something that like
that embrace hug. Like
yeah.
just come here. Just put your head right
Now,
here. Put your head right.
Truthfully, do I want a man that I gotta go uppies? I don't want to uppies. I don't want to uppies my man.
Oh God, uppies.
I don't want to uppies. I don't want to uppies. You know what I'm saying?
That just reminds me of a comedian though. That's the worst part about it. There's a comedian called Brad Williams, and he's a midget, and he made that joke. It's like no woman wants to fuck a man after he says uppies.
Yeah, I don't want uppies. You know what I'm saying? But what I do want is a comfortable slow dance, like a comfortable hug, a comfortable cuff. So that's somebody who's 5'11", 6 foot. Right? So I don't need to have no 6'4", 6'5" person where I feel like you my father. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to have a comfortability. I don't want a tippy toe to give you a kiss or whatever may have you. I want comfortability of me and you dealing with each other in that way. And then also, I have slept with somebody who is 6'4", 6'5". You got two people who got long legs. The measurements wasn't measuring. It was real complicated.
Talking as a person over 6 foot, dealing with someone who's barely over 5. Sometimes that foot difference isn't always the most comfortable, but you'll make it work. But nonetheless,
no, you'll make it work. You make it work what you got to make it work. But I'm more than sure.
Really,
I'm more than sure that back shots are not. They're great, but I feel I have to adjust myself for people who are like 5'8", 5'9", because obviously when I bend over, I'm perfect for a person who is 5'11", 6 foot when it comes to back shots. Perfect. Like it's like you don't have to do no more work. It's just an easy. Whoo, we're here. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm dealing with a person who's 5'8", 5'9", I have to lower my stance, widen my legs. I have to I'm no longer just in the bed. I become the bed. You know what I'm saying? In order for there to be comfortability. Now, could he yike his leg up on the bed and do all? Yeah, he could definitely do that. That's not a problem. Do you need to have mobility in your hips? Definitely. But it's also fun just to real quick and not have to become a gold gymnastics star to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying?
That gold medal.
Yeah. So do you have pillows that help? Yes. Have we showcased them on here? Yes. But it would be nice just to every once in a while. Like, I'm sure if you got a short queen and you a tall king, sometimes you don't want to have to arch your back like a cat in order to have eye contact during missionary. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Because if you hit it regular, guess what you looking at? Guess who you making love to? The pillows and the headboard. That's what you looking at. And guess what's happening to her? Your chain right here in the forehead. Awesome.
Chest. Smother. Nah.
It's smothering. So men have to women have to extend. Men have to, it matters. It matters. Take a short one anytime. Exactly. But let's watch how this woman gets them together.
I make well over 100K a year, and
just a little stop here. I make well over 100K a year, baby. That's you're doing just fine in Massachusetts doing that.
Sometimes you go to California, that ain't shit.
That ain't nothing. In Massachusetts, if you make $110,000, you're doing okay. Like
Hold
you
on,
can go
hold,
to a
hold on.
restaurant this week
Let,
and
let,
buy groceries
let
and
me
pay
give you
the
one.
bill.
Let me
That's
get you
it.
one better. In DC,
Yo, DC, yeah, that's nothing.
no,
That's
no, 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 no. Let me finish what I was gonna say. In DC, when I was working for UPS, this was 2018. I was delivering at this brand new apartment complex for a studio. They said rent was $3,500 a month for a studio, and this was 2018. Yes.
Suck my dick.
So yeah, 100K ain't
Ain't
shit.
shit.
If you
And he said
unless
this
you
in 2024. Like he was
uh-huh.
so proud of over that $100,000. Like,
yeah,
10 years ago, you got money, nigga. Damn.
Oh yeah, nigga, you for real.
For real got that money.
Nigga,
But
right now you can afford to go to McDonald's. There you go. go get your ass a Happy Meal. Shut the fuck up.
okay. Let's continue the foolery. Oh Lord, I did not mean to do that. How did that happen? Okay, here we go.
And I'm black at that if you add that on. So just if we're speaking about those figures, the things that women are attracted to, no, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'll let you do the math.
Hold on, before we go, who's your math said?
The conversation and the words that are coming out of the mouth of someone like you, I would never consider top tier. A top tier man is also a man that is extremely desirable by way of his character. A top tier man is a man who displays a certain level of intellect that allows him to consider other people. A top tier man, they lead with love, not with dictatorship, right? They don't want to control their woman. They want to gently lead their woman. A top tier man creates space for a woman to feel good about herself. A top tier man supports the dreams and the ideas of a woman. A top tier man prioritizes a woman. A top tier man is in leadership and working as hard as he is to give the woman the life of her dream.
And with
But I
all that
digress.
stuff that you just said, that was just womanese talk. That
Womanese is also 6'4", black, attractive. I don't know too many women in my circle who desire a 6'4" man still wearing braids.
I don't know a lot of women who still desire a man who's 6'4" and wearing braids, but I digress.
I mean, once you start getting older, you know. I mean, I understand, you know.
The braids here, I want everyone to know. I want everyone to know this. The braids were collateral damage. That woman had no problem with that man wearing braids. There was no issue with him wearing braids. Him wearing braids would not be a bother to her if he saw her randomly on the street and she came to step up to him. I mean, you know, he came to step to her. The braids was not the issue.
Nah, they
But
were,
because he opened his mouth like he did, now your funky ass neck braids, yeah, now we have an issue.
But not only the braids, but he had no hang time. That means them things are new. Them new news.
Because and this is the thing, people who have that type of head shape, right? They have to they can't, and let's look at his head shape real quick. Let's go for a demonstration of his head shape, because this will show. I watch too many barber videos, so I be watching them, right? Let's look at his head shape. He has a very high neck. You see what my mouse is doing? Okay. He has a very high neck, right? Yeah. And I forget what this is called, but it's the occipital bone or something like that, where it's the main heaviest part of your head, right? That's where the bone pokes out. This is where most barbers will dictate where your fade begins. Into, if you have a low cut fade, this is where they decide this is where your fade begins. His hairline actually goes like it naturally is supposed to be right here, right? But because of how long his neck is, and then like the shape of his head, take away the beard, this is where his face is, right? Take away the beard. So think about him without a beard. He looks crazy. He like, you know what I'm saying? His side profile is crazy, and then you have this big long neck with this head shape. So he can only go bald right here and have hair here for him to look quote unquote normal in his head shape. This gives him a good head shape. If he kept his hair down here like he was supposed to, and them braids kept going back, he would look like he had the longest head known to man. Like it would just look like a huge long head. Along with the long chin, he's gonna look crazy. He's gonna look crazy. So he has to cut it that way. So it's not that his hair stops at a certain point. His hair has to stop at a certain point for him to look attractive. If you have to manipulate something on you to look attractive, and I'm not talking about your this or that, like if you have to literally do something to make yourself look better,
optical illusion.
that means that you cannot speak. You don't come out the gate attractive. The haircut that this now everybody knows a new haircut, a new hairstyle that definitely can enhance you. Okay, that's not an enhancement, that's a change that he has to do in order to look like what women would want him to look like. Let a man like that have a scruffy day or two. I want to pull him up back in 2020 when he was locked down. He couldn't go get his haircut. I bet you, and his beard wasn't. I bet you he doesn't look all that great, right? And I'm not saying this to be disrespectful or whatever. It's just, it's just what it is. So because he came out his mouth said, "I'm a top tier man. I'm 6'4". I'm black on top of that." Hello, do you live in America? Because when was being a black man the best thing in the world here? Never, never, not one person has ever said that.
Being black gets you in the bedroom, does not get you in the boardroom.
Thank you. That's why he's like and I'm black on top of that. Did you forget where we lived? Did you forget where we lived?
Like I said,
being
bedroom,
black is not going to
not
put
boardroom.
it's not going to put you on top like that. Like I love being black. I love my black people. I'm not saying that being black is bad, but him adding that as a trope. If you were so down, if you were so good, you wouldn't be. If you was in a successful, pleased relationship at this moment in time, you wouldn't have pushed yourself so much towards this woman. You know what I'm saying? And so I make well over $100,000. That means you're not even in the two range getting there. That means you make maybe 110, 120. The money's walking a little slow, right?
We'll get you somewhere around 110 at most, 130, 140.
130, yeah. And then when you like, and I add blah blah blah, and modern women just blah 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 blah. Blah. I want everyone to know what she said about him, or what not even what she said about him. She evaluated everything in him that whole time she talked because she wanted him to talk. She wanted him to really speak. And she went down a list, and the part that really is a part is a top tier man is someone who speaks from love. A top tier man is someone who thinks and considers others and not just self. That's all he was doing. She literally broke down everything he just did for himself. And then he says after that, so all what you said is not what a woman's gonna get. And she's like, yeah, but not women are gonna want a 6'4" man with braids. Now, could they have been locks? They could have been locks. They could have been anything. It could have been a dark Caesar wave. Okay.
Could have been waves, could have been bald. It don't matter.
You immediately became ugly to a lot of people with you talking like that.
You're just some light-skinned ass nigga with some braids.
You're a basic bit. Like, I don't understand when he said that. I'm 6'4". I make a whole 100,000 and I'm black on top of that. Congratulations. Welcome to America. What else would you like me to get for you today?
You got a business?
Is a carbon copy of about 200,000 niggas who look just like you right now.
What you doing outside that business? You got some people. You got some people that you bringing up with you.
Do you know how many people's NBA 2K players look like you?
She had him read 2 seconds after he opened his mouth.
She was, because sometimes, and it's not just men. I would say I'm going to say this about like a lot of people. Sometimes it honestly is so hurtful to listen to people speak. Like it really is one of those things where you're like, it's like when you watch.
I ain't gonna lie. When I hear ignorant people like that talk, I just love whatever. Because the problem with it is, you're gonna have this whole conversation. You're gonna break them down, and they still gonna walk out there thinking you were crazy. They're not gonna realize what you're saying. They're not gonna take what you said seriously. He's not gonna take what she said and be like, all right, I need to change. He's like, she's just a hater, and goes on about his business.
Because we are 2 days away from the presidential election, right? In this height of this political season, I'm going to change my phone number. I don't know what's going to happen because the text messages was out of control. So when the next 4 years come around, consider my phone dead off, not paid for. Okay, just consider that. Hit me up on my Google number. Okay, but here's the thing. I'm going to use this not as a political ploy, but just as if you've ever seen any of those videos where the guy goes up to any person at some Trump rally, right? And he's asking them genuine questions. And they are just spewing out repetitive, like, misinformation. And then he goes to correct them. And they're like, wait, what? Oh, no, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't, and it's like they're just talking. They have no base, no receipts, no knowledge, no nothing. They just are just saying stuff, and that's what they believe because that's what's been said to them. Watching that hurts my brain cells. It hurts my heart too. Not because of the country, not because of whatever, but going to school for communications, it's agenda setting. I'm not telling you what to think. I'm telling you what to think about. So I'm going to make you formulate your own opinions. What I'm not, I'm feeding it to you. And it's your job as a sponge to take it up, agenda setting, and all that other stuff, to take it up, soak it up, repeat it, garbage, throw it out. Like, and then keep repeating it. It's unfortunate that people, and I'm relating this back to that because this man just spewed out a bunch of shit that like no one cared about. Like, no, it was nothing was factual. I mean, here's his life. If that's his life, that's factual. Nothing about he said about modern women. And then there was another portion of the episode where the woman next to him said, she said, okay, so what you're saying is the modern woman does nothing for you because she's not submissive enough for you to deal with. You can't mold her and shape her the way that you want her to be. She doesn't want to be led by you. So the modern woman is somebody who is uninterested in you. You want a traditional woman, a woman who will let you lead, a woman who will just let you do and not ask any questions, a woman who will just jump when you say she'll say how high when you say jump. That's what you're looking for. If that is what you're looking for, why are you constantly trying to change the modern woman and get the modern woman when you could just get the traditional woman and have no complaint?
The funny part about that is a modern woman, if you're leading correctly, has no problem with falling back to you. Most modern women, and like I said, not all, but a lot of modern women I've come across, they want to be in their soft life. They want to be that lead, follow. They don't want to lead. They do it because they have to. They do it because that's what they've grown to, had to deal, how they had to survive out here. But they don't want that. If a man can come across and do this for me, and we can do this together as a partnership, yeah, sure, go ahead.
I will say that this is just one of those examples, right? And I'll say this in terms of this deals with a friend, a male friend, and a man that I had been in relationship with, right? I had to go to a gas station while I was driving my car, okay? And my friend was, driving along with me, whatever. I go pull up to the gas station. My friend gets out. He's like, "Oh, give me the money, candy, blah blah blah." Because obviously he's my friend. It's my car, like whatever. So I give him the money, yada yada. He pumps my gas. Not only does he pump my gas, but he cleans my windows around the car and everything like that. And he's like, "Oh, how much oil do you have in your car? So I can go in the gas station. I'll buy you oil if you need it." Like, different things like that. He just wanted to make sure, like, he's
You're
good. He's
taken
good
care of.
outside. He's taken care of. A person who I've been in relation with, I pull up to the gas station, right? And first let me also say, I went to go pull out my money, but my friend was going to pay for it. My friend was going to pay for my gas, but I was just like, "Boy, this is my car. Don't worry about it. I know you have your own bills to take care of." That was my thing. You're my friend. You have your own bills to take care of. I'm going to pay for my money because if you weren't here, I was going to have to do it any which way. Right? With a person who I was in relationship with, automatic, I had to give my whatever. Okay, cool. Went and paid for it, pumped it. That was it. There's other male friends that I said that have had half a gas tank left. Yo, go to the gas station so we can get you some gas. Now, did I pay for it? Yes, of course, because once again, they're my friends. But that leadership, that like, let's take care of these things. I say that the two like it's slight differences, but with my friend, it was more, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, whatever. The person who I had dated, it was as if it was an objective for him. Like, I guess I gotta, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't. Do you get what I'm saying? There's that slight difference. It's that slight difference. I do a lot. Every time someone says that, I respond with, and men stop dying so often when no fault divorces were allowed. Yeah. I say that because, like I said, I'm single. I work. I this, I that, I whatever. As y'all know, I'm a submissive woman. I love being submissive to a dude. That's my thing. I hate when I have to correct. I hate when I have to lead. I hate when I have to tell you which way to go. Like, it's honestly a turnoff when I have to, like, mama you. I'm not supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's not cute to me. I hate when I have to do that. So, as much as like a hard ass as I come off, I don't want to be, like you said. I want to chill. You do what you want to do, my nigga. Like, I'm just here. I remember there was a video on TikTok where a girl said she was on the FaceTime with her friend and her man's driving the car. And she's like, "Oh, so where you going?" She goes, "Girl, I don't know." "Okay, where you going to eat?" "Girl, I don't know." "Well, what y'all finna do?" "Girl, I don't know." She goes, "Girl, why don't you know nothing? You out in the town." What? She goes, "My man is behind the wheel of this car. I don't know shit, nor do I need to know anything. Because anywhere he takes me, I'm good with." Like, because and also I think that some people forget, like, if you're thinking about a traditional home and you have a man and a woman in the house, the woman is the fucking referee and the leader all the time to them fucking kids, man. Like, the father helps, and as you should know, like, the father helps and he redirects and he confirms, listen to your mother, blah, 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 blah. What did your mother just say? Yada, yada, yada. And yes, he'll be assertive when need be, but he knows he can't get too loud because he's a man. Like, he knows that you can't bark at these kids, okay? Like, you can't bark. You feel what I'm saying? My mother was always, okay? Apparently, my father never yelled at me. What my father did was, like, it was never a yell. It was a mumbled anger. It was a mumbled anger. He left that to my mother, okay? Now, I don't know how it was with my brothers. I don't know if my father was, whatever, but I can go back, because my father passed at 7, if you guys don't know. But I can go back and look at videos and stuff. Even when, like, because me and my older brother are 4 years apart. even when there's a scene where, like, you know, I should be getting baby, my father still went on the way to baby my brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he still allowed it to happen. So it's just, thank you. Let me turn my brain off. Let me just
exist.
Please. Because let me just tell you this real quick. If this was Royal sitting here babbling like I'm doing right now, Habdusa would have already shut half of her conversation down by filling in what needs to be said in a 4 or 5 words versus her continually babbling on. You know why? Because that's his wife. He knows her through and through, and he knows what she's trying to get to in a point, and he knows how to, like, without disrespecting her and making her look crazy. You know what I'm saying? Habdusa can't do that to me because I'm a real fucking G. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He can't. You couldn't just let me have a fucking moment if you wanted to. Just, but I'm just saying, sometimes, like you said, you know, little bitch, relax.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, and men always go, "Well, what about us?" When you get home, who do these breasts belong to? Who they belong to? The moment you put these nipples in your mouth, they didn't belong to me no more. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, when you come home, lay your big-headed ass down on the couch, put your big-headed ass on my titties, and let me rub your head. You get to I will literally take in and let you de-stress, let you relax. Like, I will give you fucking comfort. That is your relaxation. Your stresses of the world, your worries, your this, your that. I am your relaxer. I'm your vent. I'm your this. I am your diary. You bring it to me, you will never feel like you have anything on your fucking shoulders. That's what I'm supposed to be doing as your fucking helpmate. Okay? But if you are not being my helpmate and helping in the process of determining what to do next and this, then a third, or taking lead, or making sure that we're good and we're covered, making sure that we're feeling protected in all avenues, emotional, spiritual, mental, and financial. Okay. If I'm not feeling protected in all covers, then I can't lean on you the way that I want to. I'm going to take any stress that you have. You can put it on me. I'm a woman. I use both sides of my brains. I got titties, a uterus, and ovaries, and it's been beating my ass since I was 11 years old. I can take it. Let me make sure you're good, so that way when you walk out in the world, because your high testosterone ass is too fucking crazy to think more than 2 seconds and you're going to have a nigga moment from the Boondocks, let me make sure you good before you walk out that door. So you go, nigga, what? Big titties are at home. Big titties are at home. The jail don't got big titties, but my big titties are at home. Okay.
I know the jail has some big titties, just not the titties you want.
Yeah, exactly.
As you can say, jail got titties I don't want.
I just wish niggas did that. Once somebody tries to bring you a nigga moment, just go, big titties are at home. They are not at jail. Big titties are at home. They are not at jail. And walk away. Like, you know, and then you come home and you're like, I need my titties. Come get your titties, babe. Come get your titties. Like,
they all yours. Just
come get them.
Lay your head on your pillow.
Like, just lay down. Just relax. It's okay. Like, I got a chance to watch and have some glimpses of some memories.
Or my better statement. Can you just put your earmuffs around my head right quick?
Exactly. Like, this is why having your household complete is very important. I got to see in the short time of me having any memories, if my father was laying on that couch and he was watching TV, my mother didn't say shit to him. He laid on that couch. He watched his Pinky and the Brain. He watched whatever show he wanted. Now, if she was sitting on the couch or she wanted to come bother him, of course he'd be like, come on. But she would sit on the couch and he would, like, just lean up against her. Or he would have his, like, he was laying on the couch, he would have his legs, like, you know, just chilling cocked open. And she would just sit in between or whatever. Like, it's seeing stuff like that where, yeah, I don't want to be bothered right now, but let me just sit in here, you know? My father made a man cave outside. Now, I don't know how the hell you do that, but my father took a bunch of extension cords, took them, plugged them up in the house, brought them outside, okay? Took the TV, antennas, put it on the table, VCR, plugged it up, had the cable box. How he had the cable box outside? I don't know. Took the hammock, set the hammock up, put a see-through tent up, net all around, so you can see him and he can see you. So if we were in the yard, he's chilling in his man cave, but he can see and look. You're not dead. Everything's okay. I'm outside. You're outside. He was in his man cave outside. Did my mother come and bother? Of course she wouldn't. But that's it. He was just outside his man cave, chilling, mind his business. Big-headed ass kids running around the yard in his man cave. You know what I'm saying? Like, she allowed my father to be a father. He allowed my mother to be the dictator. At the end of the day, it was a simple balance. At the end of the day, she still let my father have his time because he needed his time, just like she needed his time. Her time was going grocery shopping with her first cousin at 7:00 in the morning, all day till like 2 p.m. and they had all the groceries from every fork and store in the world. But I digress. But that's what you need to do. It's crazy how a person who ain't never been proposed to and hasn't been married a day in their life got more fucking common sense than a lot of other people. But who am I?
Someone who's seen it. That's why.
Just a voluptuous, big titty, big ass, fat pussy, good, juicy, wet ass bitch. You know what I'm saying?
One day you'll find him.
I got something to tell you when we get off here. Anyway, so yeah, guys, next Sunday I'll be here, even if Hubducer isn't. I'll be here.
I should be here. Let me tell you, this weekend we were out of town in North Carolina for Royal's cousin's wife's 50th birthday. Let me tell you, let me tell you the experience. Just when you tell someone no and they find every excuse for you to keep going, that you have to still make it, that's exactly what happened to her.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Like, literally, well, no, we can't do this because X, Y, and Z. Well, we could, change this around. We can do this. So now you can do it. Like, we don't want to go. Did we just not go? No was not the answer. No was not the answer this weekend. And yes,
you better than me because a no would have seen them that day. A no would have seen them.
So yes, drove to North Carolina. It was a fun part. It was a 1920 themed 50 birthday party. So yes, it was interesting. It was interesting seeing a lot of people. I didn't know. How'd I dress? I had put on some slacks, a white shirt, and a fedora. I'm a big guy, so I don't have a lot of options right now.
But you figured it out.
Yep, I did. I figured it out.
That's all that's important. But yeah, we'll be here next Sunday. Instagram, Kenny Taste Sweet, TikTok, Chase. No, it's not anymore. Fuck. C.Hayes.
I was gonna say
no, but I just quickly said my old one. C.HAYESINC every Thursday. The Vote with Chase and Duke 9 p.m. podcast. Shout out to everybody who was on the podcast this past weekend when we did good Who Done Did It for Halloween and everybody dressed up and stuff. It was pretty awesome, pretty cool. But yeah, and every Sunday I'm here 8:00.
I try to be here as best as I can.
Yeah, whatever.
Don't whatever me, woman.
Just be leaving me in the fucking dust every time.
Ain't I here? I'm here, right? And last weekend, let me tell y'all, just clarify some things. Last weekend, I was here, just in a different room. I didn't know.
Oh yeah, Dusa was here the whole entire time last weekend. Why he didn't think, lit? It's 8:15 or 8. It's 8:08. It's 8:10. Let me check what's going on. You know when he called me? 8:35. Like when I'm in the middle of having a topic.
Yes, and then because I figured I was like, oh, I guess she's, something happened. She's running a little late. And then I
That's what
noticed at
happens when you
8:30
don't
when she
check
hung up on me, and I looked like, oh shit, she's on the show.
because you
Well, I'm
don't be
not just
looking
going.
at the messages.
Well, I was in the show waiting, so I wasn't really looking at my phone.
Give me your credentials, please. Fuck off.
I don't have credentials. I'm just here.
Thank you guys so much. This has been such a great night. We appreciate you. You guys have a good one. See you later.